All right, so I just want to review the latter part of the week. Let's see. Okay, so the main three plays I want to go over are IRNT, Life, and CRVS. It really started with IRNT on Wednesday. We had this beautiful breakout play that just took off after hours. And really the key with these three plays was VWAP holds late day. We'll go over it right now. So this one we have the breakout right around 30. It was chopping around that area the whole time, the whole day really. Then here late day, we get a good hold of the VWAP line, and once the volume comes in, it just squeezes all the shorts that were trying to hold this down the whole day. Their backs against the wall right around 30, probably risking off that high day. And once it broke that high after hours, it just took off. Let's see here. Let's get a gauge for the volume. As you can see here, starting right around this area when it holds, you get a volume perk going into the close compared to when it was consolidating. We had a little bit of a perk here on this little spike. Besides that, it's all kind of low, so I saw a little difference in volume as it was holding, coming back to break. I think it was all-time highs too. So it was a key level. Shorts were just getting destroyed. 57.5 million float, and on that day we did over that, or just about that, during the market hours, and it went up more obviously after hours, unless that one is factored in. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But yeah, so this one really set the tone for the rest of the week, because the day after we got Life, and Life did not squeeze nearly as much, but certainly, what was it, the day after? No, maybe this one was first. I don't know. I'm getting my days mixed up. But here we go. IRNT was the best spiker though. Here we go. We have this play. Same situation, except maybe Life was the one that came first. I forgot. But here we have this first solid green day. Insane volume, rotating the float multiple times. So as long as we were holding right around 8 and VWAP and we were getting volume, I thought we could have a decent squeeze. And I didn't capture a whole ton of this one, but here we go. I was in right here. Then I got faked out on this panic. But the second I saw it hold a VWAP, I just kind of saw this whole kind of cup and handle kind of getting formed. So if it failed to break VWAP in 8 and volume came in, I told myself I was getting in. Second I saw this holding up, I got in. Not the best entry. It was a little bit higher, right back into the highs here, rather than closer to 8. But it didn't really matter because it kept going and it offered a solid play. Nothing like IRNT or CRVS, but it still offered a pretty good play. And if you held the whole night, overnight, and waited till the morning, you got a 50% play if you got it in your 8. So, once again, with the trend, that's what I've been going over. The trend, the volume, supply and demand. This play here really was an open price play. I played it in the morning when it reclaimed here, and it captured this most of this spike. But when it failed to break down, and it was near a multi-year high here, still got more resistance above. But this was a key level right around the 8s, low 8s. So yeah, momentum just continued higher. It failed to break down, and shorts got destroyed. So yeah, if it wasn't for some of these dips where shorts thought they were going to win in this consolidation, once it broke that high, it really took off because that's probably where they're all risking off of. Yeah, that's another good one. And then another similar play, which just happened, Crvs. This one happened not as close to the end of the day into the close here, but nonetheless was a great hold. It was a little choppy, multiple opportunities to get in. We had a 37.5 million float, volume 252 million. So you don't even have to worry about supply and demand. That's taken care of on a Friday. Failing to break down this whole day and holding up right near the highs, holding trend and VWAP. So when this comes back and breaks a high day, it just takes off, heads to 7 after hours. So if you could really see the pattern with all of these, the way they're spiking. You get that morning spike, which shows momentum, and you need that morning spike because you need to suck in the shorts, and it gets near a key level, and it just kind of goes sideways. You get some dipping, but it goes sideways, and once the volume comes in, it confirms the trend and the breakout level, and it just keeps going higher. This one here, we got some resistance right around mid 4s, 5-ish. But after that, really, I barely count those as volume. I just kind of see that as a significant area on the chart where they line up. But really, the next resistance was up in the 680s, 7-ish, because that's where we got this volume perk right here. Besides that, we don't have much volume these days, so there's not many people weighing it down. Yeah, not a whole ton of, like, this thing could probably keep going higher if it ends up failing to break down and it squeezes past 8. I could see a quick move to possibly 10, 11, or 12. We'll see what happens, but really just want to get the general pattern that I was seeing and playing on video. It is rather quite simple. There were a couple other plays. The market definitely warmed up this week. We had IRNT. This one went parabolic. Where are we at? Here we go. Oh, daily. I mean, no, not IRNT. Sorry, INDP. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, 1 day, low float. It was doing insane volume, rotating it many times over. This one this was a great long and short. Once the momentum dies, the shorts took over. But until all the shorts were squeezed, this was not going to be possible because you have, once again, the morning spike and shorts that were shorting this area got annihilated because it kept holding up and strong volume came in. And that kept it going higher. And it failed to break down. Buyers kept coming in. And then shorts got destroyed one more time. It goes from the low 20s to 28, 29. And you can kind of see this last gasp here with not much volume compared to the morning. So once this starts reversing, there's a decent opportunity once it starts breaking the lows here, cracking VWAP. Good opportunity to short. But if volume continued, if it stayed, and it had a hard time breaking down here, or maybe above it, this could have kept holding trend and possibly went higher. But at this point, it was already up 200% on the day or more. Yeah, I think it got almost to 300. I think it was around 260. So it was up a lot already on the day. Not meaning that it can't go higher, but it definitely needed to hold up and consolidate a little more. and who knows if that was going to happen when it was up so much already. So yeah, you could have got that short as well. Let's see, Opad, that was another decent play. This one was very choppy, but once again, messing with the VWAP hold right around a breakout level. This one, the breakout level was 16, open price was 17, and we have that VWAP in the 17s right around 18. We got an all-time high break. This chart reminds me of IRNT, right? Yeah. So yeah, this one I played as a 17 reclaim, open price, offered a quick spike to 21-ish, just below. And he's a strong panic here. But what it does is comes back right to the breakout level, fails to break down, volume keeps coming in, and it makes a higher low, holds a VWAP, and then you get a burst of volume into the close. And this one doesn't take off. The volume is strong, but it's not, at the end of the day here, incredible. So it couldn't really keep going. But this one is a little choppy. Each spike is met with a dip, consolidation, another spike right after. So you definitely have to be patient, which I was, thank God, in this. I was very patient. I didn't take my gains in this first spike. My entry was 1670, so I was up roughly $3 here. Failed to break down, held that key level. So I was in around that 17. That was open price. Get a higher low, it holds trend, and you should just stay in until the trend breaks. This time it worked out for me. So yeah. Any other ones on the week? Hlbz. Can't forget that one. Low floater that just ended up failing. Was up a lot. What was the last close? 9. Yeah, and then the high we're here at 26, right around. And that's also a key level, as we saw. 25 is an all-time high break. It just didn't have enough momentum when it was up here to keep going. So we get this perfect coiling action here, right around the open price, 1789. We'll just call it 18. And once you get this volume here, once again, the volume, after a spike, failure to break down, it holds up. You're at a key level, and you get volume, you get the confirmation, and there, right here, this is a good sell because you get a double top. And once you get this volume perk, let me zoom in, it retreats right away after making a new high. The volume disappears after this one green candle. It takes it to a new high. Then volume just kind of fades. It's still strong, but at this point, when it's lower down here and it's not doing good enough volume like it was earlier, all this volume up ahead, it's just seen as resistance now. So it's going to need more volume to overpower it of buying. So it didn't work out in this case. But it still offered a decent little rip from 18 to 25. And, oh yeah, wait, I played this. I remember it now. Okay, yeah, so I took it right as it was crossing the open price. Sold for a quick $2. And then we got this panic, failure breakdown. This was just it coming back and testing that break, the break of the open price. It's testing that level and VWAP. Volume dips for a little bit. It's still holding up. But yeah, this volume here is better than the volume back here. So we still got good volume coming in as it's holding the open price play. And we get a perk of volume that leads to this spike here. So I re-entered in the 19s and got out all up in this area. I've been trying to be more patient and sell in pieces, not just one piece. Yeah. So that's kind of the week. ATR multi-day bounce, missed this. Totally forgot about this. Same thing that we always talk about. As it's fading, let it set that high, whatever time it is, usually the morning. Give it 5 minutes of consolidation. Once it breaks that high, that's the entry. We get more than 5 minutes here, but when it comes back strong, you get a solid nearly 20%. But nonetheless, a decent bounce play. Got this recent spiker here. So, yeah, main things that I've really been watching this week that's been good and helped out is VWAP, volume, and key levels. These key levels are seen by both longs and shorts, so could be a good short at first until it fails to break down and it holds up and the volume keeps coming in. And then that breakdown might turn into a solid breakout as shorts get squeezed. So just keep an eye on the float, which sometimes, if there's enough volume, doesn't even really matter as long as it's rotating it, or there's a shock compared to what it usually trades, and then you get a few strong days. Yeah, so that's kind of it for this week. Today's Sunday. Just gonna study up some more and get ready for tomorrow.